All I want to say is that this story is not fiction, but a real horror event that I personally experienced. I used to work in an old hotel, and that particular night will always be etched in my mind. It was a cold, dark evening and I was working my way through hotel cleaning, a relatively easy job that only involved making sure the rooms were tidy. I've been working at this hotel for a while and have experienced all sorts of strange things, but this incident left a huge impression on me. The incident happened in a room number 237. The room had always had an ominous feel to it, but I had no idea of its history at the time. The story of this room begins the night before, when a guest checks in and acts very strange.
Oh, no! His face was pale, his eyes were hollow, and he looked full of despair. He asked for a quiet night without any interruptions, and then he entered the room. The next day, the hotel's cleaning work continued as usual, and room number 237 became one of our tasks. When we opened the door, we were greeted by a strong smell of blood, which was nauseating. The room was filled with this eerie atmosphere, as if death itself was lingering in the place. I entered the room with my colleagues and carefully inspected every corner. The moment I opened the door, "Oh! What's going on?" When we walked to the bathroom, we saw an incredible sight. The bathtub was filled with blood, like a horrific bloodbath. Blood filled the entire bathroom and seemed to have solidified there. We were so frightened that we immediately ran out of the room and informed the hotel management. Management immediately contacted local police and reported the gruesome discovery. Police rushed to the scene and began investigating. They found a blunt knife and some instruments used to cut the wrists in the bathtub, which determined it was a suicide attempt. However, what is even more disturbing is that the police later discovered the body of the deceased. He lay in the bathtub, completely soaked in blood. His eyes were staring blankly, and life seemed to have left his body. The deceased was quickly identified as a man with poor mental health, but no one knew why he chose to commit suicide in such a way. As the police investigation continued, we were asked to leave the room to allow them to conduct further searches and evidence gathering. We waited outside, frustrated and scared. After several hours, the police finally completed their work and removed the body of the deceased. When we re-entered the room, we were surprised to find an unknown substance stuck to the bathtub that looked like skin. It was so disgusting, we couldn't believe our eyes. We have to deal with this horrific situation, but we are all extremely disturbed. We used a shovel to carefully clean the sticky layer off the tub and found that it was very difficult to remove, as if it was firmly stuck to the tub. We don't know what it is, but it gives us the creeps. Eventually, we managed to get the layer off the tub, but we couldn't forget the horrific image. The room became an ominous place.